Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits review. Tonight, a beer that I picked up from Lidl some time ago, Saigon Export. Now, I'm being honest, I know bugger all about Saigon Export. I don't know if you know it. I presume it's a Chinese beer. Saigon Export beer.
Here is information about the Saigon Export.
Yep, thank you. So, click on that link. So, let's give it a pour and get a few initial... it's got a rating of 2 out of 708 ratings at ratebeer.com. But bear in mind, it's a bit nasty because it is a lager. And the beer name doesn't really, made in Vietnam of all places. I've actually got a Vietnam friend at work who's a policeman or community warden thing, whatever they are these days. Really nice bloke, really well spoken Vietnamese bloke as well, and really keen on his job. As you should be in any job really. So, a slightly darker straw colour, going on to nearly gold in colour. Good lots of carbonation and lacing. A white head. Now someone's put a rice and malty aroma. I can get the malt. I'm not so sure about the rice. I can actually taste rice in the flavour. That's weird, isn't it? Someone here, clear golden with a white head, sweet grainy aroma, sweet taste with a medium bitter finish. Boring but decent. I'm trying to find an half decent. Yeah, the reviews. One here from Stoke-on-Trent. Pours a clear golden colour with a medium white head. Aroma of grain, rice, a little lemon and apple. Taste of sweet grain, slight lemon, little apple and subtle rice notes. So obviously I was right with saying I could taste a bit of rice. So like a rice beer then. Rice lager rather. Tastes slightly different to your standard lagers. You know your standard lagers, Carling, Carlsberg, Foster's, Stella, that sort of thing. Tastes slightly different to them. Deeper colour. Bit more taste to it. A bit more pronounced taste to it. Still more or less a premium lager than anything like a craft lager, but yeah, not bad at all. And to be fair, this has quenched my thirst more than this. I've just done a cider review and it's quenched my thirst more than the cider. Oh, try and look for the bloody alcohol content. I presume it's 5%. But you can't read the bottle. The writing's so ridiculously dinkum. Right, I presume it's 5%. Yeah. What can I say? It's for a premium lager, which is the category it will be in. Wheeled lager. Yeah, it's not bad. Now, whereas I thought the cider would quench me first, it didn't. It helped, but it didn't. This has put a lid on me first straight away. And I mean, that's the thing about lagers, isn't it? They can help, the right lager anyway, can help quench that thirst. And yeah, it's not bad at all. So, I have a story from the olden days of work. Now, this is totally true, no bullshit at all. We had a patrolman, and he was a bit of a tramp. And if I've said this before, then please ignore it. But you might not have heard it. And yeah, he was a bit of a tramp. And I think I've actually said it before, to be fair. But anyway, he went up the. He come to us one day in the mess room and says, "Oh, I found some meat in the cemetery that the butchers are getting rid of." I thought, "Oh yeah," and nobody took any notice of him. I thought, tramp. Anyway, some time passed, and there'd been a murder in Nottingham, and like that case in London where someone was chopped up, I think it was Dennis Nielsen. This person in Nottingham, he chopped somebody up as well, and the parts were found in the cemetery. They found all the parts, bar a bit of the belly. Shortly after this came out, and it did come out, it was a big thing. The patrolman, he went off, and it was never quite right in the head again. And to this day, we don't know if he took the meat home, because he thought it was belly pork. It was belly something, but not belly pork. And to this day, we don't know if he took it home, ate it, and then found out later that it wasn't what he thought it was. And because he'd eat biscuits 3 years out of date, he was that sort of person. Obviously, not all day it's only a guide, really, but I mean, if it smells bad, don't fucking eat it. But yeah, and very true. And yeah, it sent him whappy. And in my old job, it's funny how public parks, you see a lot of life on public parks. A lot more life than you do in any other job, I think. Especially public parks in areas where there's more, I won't call it low life, but a lower form of life. I mean, usually the posher people, they keep their business internal. Their sex parties and that, it's all kept very, they don't really share it with the common folk. But on a public park, it's more the common folk, and it's more people hanging around toilets. And I mean, some of the stuff you see that I've seen, in 22 years in my old job, I've seen a lot of life. And people take the mickey out of me, say, "Oh, you're always on about the Arboretum." But Nottingham's Arboretum, it's a fantastic park. Sadly, a shell of what it was. But it was a part where, you'd lock the toilets up one night, and you'd lock the toilets up. I went in, and no one in the standings, 2 cubicles, 1 cubicle closed, only 1 cubicle, the other cubicle was open. So I shouts in, "Locking up anybody in?" From the doorway, making out I hadn't been in. And next minute, 2 blokes and a dog walk out, and the dog was limping, and they were all in 1 cubicle. So God knows what went off, Obviously, people do what they do. And one day, this has made me laugh. We used to have a copper who used to come on the park, and he was a right piss taker, He didn't give a shit who he upset. And he comes on the park. We're there and he says to us, "Oh, we're doing an operation on the toilets." And we did have a problem with, gay people frequenting the toilet. And it's not that anybody's anti-gay, it's the fact that some of the antics were not good in a public toilet. And anyway, he says to me, one day I was there, stood in the toilet, making out I was having a wee. This bloke comes by the side of me, and he says, I'm there, making out I'm having a wee, and I can see his hand moving up and down. And I'm thinking, oh, for God's sake, what's he doing? So he looks over, and he says, I was there now, look. Oh my God. And he says, the bloke had a cock the size of his arm. And he's there rubbing it up and down, and he's had to walk out the toilets. This is a copper, a copper who didn't care what he said to people. And he's had to walk out the toilets because he's that much laughing, that much about what he's seen, and he was amazed about, this person. But, yeah. And he couldn't say anything to this bloke. It was just, and thank God that's not a job I'd like to do, to be honest. But yeah, and it was hilarious, Yeah. And in some jobs you do see more of life than other jobs, I mean, at Sainsbury's, when I worked at Sainsbury's, we saw quite a bit of life there because, you get a lot of characters coming in shops. Thieves trying to nick stuff and, arguing on the aisles between customers, and then rude customers, obviously, and rather rude employers above you, managers, little Hitlers who think they know it all and they know shit. But, yeah. But anyway, back to the review. Reminiscing. So, lovely golden colour to this. Not your typical straw coloured lager. Still retaining the head, which means I can still see the lacing going off there. A very different rice flavour, a rice lager with malt in it, and a lot of your normal lager characteristics, but something different, So for a wheeled lager that's not trying to be a craft lager, because craft lagers are different. I mean, let's be fair, this fellow here, Jubel Beer with elderflower, I haven't reviewed it yet, but I've reviewed its two brothers, and they were amazing. And they are craft lagers. Even though it says beer, don't worry about the beer definition. Everybody calls it beer. If Budweiser is beer and it's lager. But for a premium wheeled lager, as this is classed as, this is very different to a lot of the others. And very nice for it as well. If I was going to put this against Peroni, taste-wise, on a blind taste, I think you'd choose this over Peroni. The standard Peroni anyway, not Doppio and Molto, no chance. They'd wipe the floor with this, but yeah, a very decent lager. With a little bit of sweetness as well in there. So, that was lovely. Bit of a stunner. It's not a top 10 lager for me, but I was expecting a rather bland offering. And it delivered much more than I expected, which is good, it's nice to see. So out of 5, I only get about a 4.4 out of 5. That was actually really good. And, for something I wasn't expecting much of, I picked it up only because it was a lager and I've got a right first on. And it's quenched it. I feel brilliant now. Belly's full, but there you go. Yeah, really nice lager. Sometimes it's worth trying these random lagers that come to the likes of Lidl and Aldi, because you never know, stuff that you wouldn't drink before, and you pick them up, you drink them, and you think, that's not bad. And yeah, sometimes it's worth trying new stuff, and the good thing for me doing reviews is the fact that I am trying new beers, lagers, ciders, spirits, wines on quite a regular basis. Try not to overdo the wines and the spirits, because obviously the alcohol content in them is quite high. But yeah, getting out there and trying new flavours, it's fantastic. There's a real big world out there to try. Right, thanks for watching, if anybody does, and see you soon.